Yeah, it's Chopper here. Welcome to another video, and today I'm doing a different type of vlog. You know what I mean? It's gonna be something that we're gonna go straight through, and it's not gonna be so many edits and all that stuff because I want to show you guys exactly how I do this, what I'm about to do. So I was gonna tie this in with another video, but I'm actually gonna do it on this one here, and I'm just gonna leave this here for anybody that's interested in doing this same type of thing. Um, I know as many of you guys know, whenever you're doing like a automatic to manual swap on these Civic EGs, right? Um, the cluster is one of the most annoying things there is because if you can see, the automatic cluster will have the parking, reverse, neutral, drive, and all the markings there for when you're shifting into gear, and that's very annoying when the cluster is on, and especially at night you see that and the car stick shift. So it's just like it's just annoying to me. You know what I mean? And I know it is to a lot of you guys also. What I'm doing today is actually converting that into a manual cluster. But when you guys go out there and you look for like Civic EG, even any parts in general, the parts are like they going up in price crazy, and they getting difficult to find. So one of these clusters in manual, they're about 250, 300 bucks, but I got a solution for that. So if you're mechanically inclined and can probably, get through doing this without breaking anything, then this is for you. So what I actually did is this. I bought myself just the fuel and temperature gauge. So what I'll be doing is taking off the cluster and taking the cluster apart and actually installing this in there. And as you can see, it doesn't have any of the parking, reverse, none of that in the middle there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take off the cluster and swap that fuel gauge and temperature gauge for this one. Also, I don't know if you guys noticed in other videos, the mile per hour on my cluster is not working. And it's not the speed sensor. I already overlooked everything. So I actually went and also bought a miles per hour gauge. So this one has 140K on it. Honestly, these cars is to the point where nobody really cares what mileage it is. They'll just look at the condition and check it. Only those anal people are like, oh, it has only 40,000 miles, 30, whatever. This is not. Once these cars is over 100,000 miles, it's whatever. So I know what I'm doing to the car, and I know what the car is. So this number here doesn't really bother me. So that's what we're doing today. We're gonna take off the cluster. We're gonna remove the bezel, take off the cluster, take it apart, and install these two gauges. Hopefully they work. I bought them used. I paid $100 for this one, but this one I had to buy anyway. If you just got an automatic cluster, you don't have to buy the speedometer. So you'll only have to buy this right here. And for this, I only paid $100. So I'm saving maybe $250, $200, just by me buying this gauge and actually taking the cluster apart and installing it. So let's get to it. Let's see if they work. I hope they work. They should work. So let's get it. All right, y'all. So first I'm gonna start with taking off the steering wheel. So took the steering wheel off. That's out the way. So now we have all this space here to work. Some of you guys don't have this luxury because you might not have a quick release steering wheel. But for me, it's fairly simple by taking off the wheel. Now, first thing you want to do is remove the hazard switch here. I have one of these plastic pieces. They work excellent for this. Please take your time whenever you're doing this. This is very old, very brittle, and you can crack it, break the vents. You have to be as patient as possible with this. There goes the hazard. Unplug it right here. Now when you take off the hazard switch, you're gonna find a Phillips screw right behind it right here. So on the left side here, you're gonna remove this Phillips. Hopefully I don't drop it. There it goes. Phillips screw. That's one screw. Now you have two screws up here. So you're gonna move this one. It's better if you got a shorter screwdriver, but this will do. So one screw here. And we have another one over here. Now this bezel is not held by any screws here, so we got to try to pry this bezel out as carefully as possible. So I usually start from like around here. Just put soft pressure. You don't have to be a hero. Nobody's waiting for you, you know. This is not a competition. And the harder, as time goes, the harder these parts starting to get to find. So you definitely don't want to break any of these. So just finesse it. Slide this through. Find the gap. Just gonna pull it from here. Let me see. It gets really tricky here, so you have to really be careful. There it goes. Now it broke loose. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Now you reach back here, unplug the clock, and your bezel is in one piece. No broken tabs, no issues. So this is always great. Now we get to removing the cluster. You guys know how this works, so let's fast forward this and take this cluster out. Let's get it. Okay, so now if you look at the back of the cluster here, right? You're gonna see a bunch of these little screws all over the place, right? Well, for the speedometer, these three little screws here are right there. 1, 2, 3. So theoretically, we're gonna take the face off of the cluster, and when we loosen these three screws here, the whole speedometer should come right out, and then we install this one and tighten all three screws. One thing to remember, never over tighten these screws. You just want them to make contact. You over tightening these screws could potentially break this thin paper board, and it won't make contact, and you'll have an issue. So never over tighten these screws. Just snug them and that's all. And as far as for the fuel gauge, right here, they also got 6 screws. So it'll be these 3 here and these 3 right here. So once you take off the face and everything, you'll be able to take this off and pull the gauge out, install your new gauge, and tighten all the screws. So let's get to that. So now, as you can see, we got the front face of the cluster taken off, and now we just have to loosen up the screws in the back, and these gauges theoretically should just come right out. I'm doing this right with you guys, so we're gonna see how that works. And just like I thought, voila, gauge comes right out. So I'm gonna get rid of this bad boy here, and we're gonna install the manual one. You see that right there? That's what we don't want. Now that it's all snug, all of the screws, I'm gonna give it a nice little test run without putting the cover back, just to make sure things are working. The miles per hour, we're just gonna have to chance it when we drive the car. I'm not gonna drive it right now, so, but it should work. So I just want to test the fuel and the temperature, make sure everything's functioning, and before we put the cover on. So let me plug it in and let's see what it does. You guys get a good view of it right there? Yeah, you guys see it. All right, y'all, I installed the cluster, and to be real, man, it was a major fail, man. Now the temperature gauge is all the way up, the speedometer's not working, so I just kept recording now so I could show you guys the good and the bad. So these are just things that happen, you know. I took my chance. I tried to change the speedometer and the cluster and the fuel gauge. but unfortunately it didn't work out. So I actually ordered a cluster now. I found one for a good price. So I order it, and let me cross my fingers and hope it works. But here's how it's looking. I guess as it looks, but you see the temperature all the way up. The speedometer's not working. At least the RPM still works. But I gotta wait for that new cluster to come and install it. I would have finished the video here and done a test drive, but I'm gonna wait till the next cluster come, and that'll be on the next clip. So for you guys, you just have to wait like half a second and see the new cluster and everything. For me, I gotta wait a couple days, so I'll see y'all back when I get the cluster. Let's get it. Alright, chat, so we back, and guess what? The new cluster is here. Nice manual one, EG. And it looks pretty good, man. By the looks of it, it looks really nice. So you guys already know, I'm gonna have to take out the old one that we had the issue with and put this one on. This one is pretty nice. It just has like these little wrinkles by the screws there. But I'm putting this on with you guys, so let's see if it actually works. And also another thing, before we put it on, I have some LED bulbs. I don't know if you guys can see them there. Yep. So I'll be putting the LED bulbs right on the back of this cluster here. I believe it's this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. So I guess all the brown ones. So I'll be putting these on before I clip the cluster in, because once I connect this cluster, if it works, which it should work, everything should be fine, and I'll put everything back together. So let me take this apart and let's see how this cluster works. Okay, so these little brown connectors, they come off. So once you put the LED should look something like this. Try not to force them in or pressure them. They should go in nice and easy. Once you install them in, if you see they don't work, you can try taking them out and flipping the LED, flipping the bulb, I guess, in the other direction. So that's what you have to do to get them work. But now they on, and let me put this cluster on and see if they all working, and see if the cluster's working also. So just like this, you're done. Okay, y'all, so the new cluster's in, the LED bulbs are on. Let's give it a start. I connected everything in the back. Let's see what it does. Ooh, RPM is working, gas is working, the temperature. Yes, sir. The only thing I hope that works, because I've been having problems since I bought the car, is with the speedometer. And I already worked out the situation I had with the speed sensor, so that's all wired up correctly, the pigtail, so there's no issues there. So I should be getting the right miles per hour on here. The RPM seems to be working 100%, and the LEDs, let's see if you can pick them up on camera. It's daytime, but let's see if you can see the difference. I see that. Let me see. Off. That's with it off. That's with it on. This is really gonna look good in the night, though. I can't wait till it's dark so I can look at it. I finally got a cluster working, but let me put everything together and go for a little drive and see if the miles per hour are working. And I was real lucky to get this cluster with 86,000 miles only, so it's a great deal. So let's go. Let me finish this up. Hopefully I don't have to touch this cluster ever again. So once I put this bezel back on, it shouldn't have to come out again. So let me put it on and we'll go for that little drive, see if the miles per hour are working. Okay, y'all, so everything is nice and neat, back together, nice and clean, nothing broken, wheel on. And I'm about to test out the mile per hour thing with you guys right now, see if the speedometer is gonna work. So let's do this together and let's pray for the best, man. Let's see what happens here. Oh, yes, sir, it's working. Yes, sirree. Yeah. Yes, finally, my speedometer's working, man. Wow, you guys don't know how long I've been dealing with this, and It's so annoying. So annoying. So, wow, I'm just glad it works good, man. Everything is working on the cluster, so that's definitely a good outcome after that previous fail. So, alright, so I'm gonna end the video here. I'm glad my cluster's working. Everything, all my gauges work now, and I could actually see what's going on. We had a fail in the beginning, but this is what this car thing is about, man. You try out different things. Sometimes you try to save money. Not all the time it works out. Just know that when you're trying to save money, there's the possibility of having to spend double. Doing what I did, I know that was a possibility, so I was ready for it. So now I got my new cluster on, well, my new used cluster, and it's working amazing. And actually, I can't wait to the nighttime to see if see how those LEDs gonna look on the cluster. But I know it's been a little while since I posted a video. I've been doing things behind the scenes. I took on another type of project, something that has to do with the water. I don't know if any of you guys follow me on Instagram. If you don't, go follow me now. It's at J_Chopper_. And you guys will see what I picked up. So I'll be working on that behind the scenes, but I wanted to ask y'all if y'all want to see some of that stuff also, because I really got that for me, and I wasn't really thinking about doing content on it. But if you guys want to see some water related content and anything like that, let me know in the comments, and I'll start doing some of that content also. So like I always say, I love every single one of y'all. Stay tuned for new content, and like, comment, subscribe, man. It's easy. One click. Hit it. So, I'll see y'all on the next one. It's Chopper. Out of here.